Hey, it's exciting, isn't it? You all right? Yeah, all right, fine. I know this is the bit I don't like, where everyone's looking at me and deciding whether this is going to be any good or not. And I've been told this is not a look that gives a lot of confidence to an audience, so people can be a bit confused. Cool, don't worry about it. This next few minutes, as you can probably tell, is going to be quite edgy comedy. So I'm not a fan of terrorism. I'm not afraid of saying it. I'm sorry if there's any in. It does frighten me a bit, terrorism. I did speak to a friend about that recently. He said you shouldn't be frightened of terrorism. Apparently, if you look at the stats, it's pretty much impossible that you're going to end up in a terrorist situation. Statistically, pretty much impossible. And I said, well, I'm still scared of it a bit, because I still think what's frightening about terrorism is not, it's like you don't know when it's going to happen next, do you? That's what's frightening about it to me. So I tried to do something about this recently. I went on Facebook recently, and I was having a look on Facebook, having a browse, see if I could find a group on Facebook for ISIS that I could join. Not because I want to join ISIS, but I thought if I joined the group, I'd be able to see any upcoming events. And obviously, Mark, myself, was not attending. I'm not turning up, obviously. So, yes. Scared of a lot of other things as well, actually, not just terrorism. I'm scared of, I'm a hypochondriac, so I'm scared of getting ill and all the things that make me ill as well. So I try and avoid a lot of stuff. Like I don't smoke, for example, because that frightens me. I don't know if you know this, but there's a thing I read a couple of years ago that scared me off smoking. It said every cigarette's supposed to take about 2 minutes off your life. And I saw that and I thought, well, I'm not going to smoke then. I have tried a cigarette once. I planned it. I got up early. So... So I should be in credit. A friend of mine smokes, he smokes 10 cigarettes a day, so I spoke to him about it recently, because you care about your friends, don't you? So I said to him, do you not realise what that means if you smoke 10 cigarettes a day? I don't know if you know this, but every one of those cigarettes, I said, takes 2 minutes off your life. So if you smoke 10 a day, you add that up, that works out that you're actually losing 2.5 hours of your life every week, and he told me he didn't mind. Right? And the reason for that is, he's just started to do his grocery shopping online. So he actually makes that back. So so you can't argue that, can you? You can't argue that. That's for sure. Yes. So I've got this magic, because I'm a hypochondriac, I often think, I'm not, you can actually develop the symptoms of illnesses that you don't actually have, like you bring on the physical symptoms of them. I've got an overactive imagination, I guess, and it just does this to me sometimes. Not just illnesses, actually. A few years ago, a weird thing happened to me, where I started developing the physical symptoms of pregnancy. Right? Now, I wasn't pregnant, turns out. What I was doing, I was actually getting some of the actual symptoms of pregnancy, because it turns out what I was doing is I was developing what I called sympathy pains for my pregnant girlfriend, right? So I knew my imagination was getting a bit out of control, because I was actually single. Yes. I'm not single, but it's more believable for the act if I am, because people, I don't know, sometimes I'm judged in a way that people imagine me to be single, which is fine. Is not a noise that I like, actually. No, lots of women make that noise. Right? No, you can be quiet now. Women go to me a lot, as if like they think they can, like, because sometimes women look at me, I think they like want to mother me, feed me, look after me, but I'd much rather a woman go foo-ah or something instead. That's much, because you want to be taken seriously as an object of sexual desire when you're an adult. You don't want women going all the time. Right? I tell you how that makes me feel when women go it makes me feel a little bit like a hedgehog. That's how it makes me feel. Yeah. No, because it feels like a lot of people think you're sweet, but probably don't want to sit on you. So yeah, I'm spending a lot of my I spend a lot of my time, I notice now, I spend a lot of my time not doing anything that's particularly fun, because lots of the fun stuff is not very healthy for you. Like drinking's fun, not healthy for you. Smoking's fun, not healthy for you. Drugs, fun, not healthy for you. So I don't really have any of these experiences anymore. Not that I've had many drug experiences anyway. I had one drug experience a few years ago. I took ecstasy once. I don't know if anyone's ever done that. Bit weird. All I can remember is from taking ecstasy, I just remember staying up all night writing positive feedback on eBay. Which was, strange evening. I have a bit of I was always scared of taking drugs, because when I was at school, we had this big, like, just say no culture. And you were told in school, like, oh, you should always say no to drugs. And because ecstasy was a bigger thing when I was at school, I remember them sort of having this thing that we had to remember, this phrase, something that they taught us at school, something like, don't take ecstasy because you've got to be thinking about putting yourself first, or something like that. I might be thinking of I before E. School days kind of blend into one. It's strange how I mention that, because I know people that still do drugs that are my age, and I sort of think, how do you do it with jobs and responsibilities? Like a friend of mine, he's in the Navy actually, and he still likes to take a lot of drugs and stuff when he can, but he's got a job, so he's got responsibilities. I don't know how he does it still. Like, obviously, like, he can't do any drugs when he's, like, on the boat, because he could lose his job. So obviously doesn't do it then. So he actually does have to remember I before E, except after C. So months it took to write that. Absolutely worth it. Right, I finished on this little bit now. Actually, I was thinking about, I'm never ill. I met someone that genuinely was ill recently, and I don't know whether it puts things into perspective or not, but it was interesting. I met a friend of mine's sister recently. She's got this condition called narcolepsy. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's when you fall asleep suddenly without any warning. And I didn't realise what a big problem this was, but she just falls asleep suddenly. You don't know what's going to happen. You can fall down the stairs, hit your head. It's a big problem. Well, they started to do that. They now train dogs to look after people with this condition. So she's got one, and dogs are quite easy to train, and they've got good senses. So apparently the dog can tell she's about to fall over just before she does. So they've trained it to warn her. What happens? If she's about to fall over, the dog warns her by running up to her, runs around her in a circle a few times so she knows what's going to happen. Then she gets on the floor and falls asleep suddenly, but in a safe position on the floor. Right? And I saw this happen the first time we met recently, and I thought that was absolutely amazing to watch. Mainly because my friend didn't tell me she had narcolepsy. So I thought a dog had just hypnotised the girl. So it's quite disappointing in the end. Anyway, right. I'm going to go. See you later. Thanks so much for listening. See you later.